Now, the Lost Galaxy is the most mysterious place in the universe. People go in, but they never come out. So, yeah, they're in a very, very dangerous place. They have no idea what to do, and they have no idea how to get the hell out of there. Oh, and, fan-wavy theory right here. I tend to think that the Lost Galaxy is the Lost Universe. Okay, the Lost Universe was this place that Lord Zed tried to send the Power Rangers in Season 2. I forgot the episode. It's the episode that he created the Cannon Top Monster. But yeah, Lord Zed tried to open up this portal to the Lost Universe to send the Rangers. I like to think that the Lost Universe is the Lost Galaxy, but that's just me, you know. Crazy Power Ranger continuity stuff, but whatever. Continuity, whatever it is. So yeah, Terraventure, everybody's in the Lost Galaxy, and then they meet this guy named Captain Mutiny, who's basically, he's a space pirate. He's literally a giant old school ship walking around. I like Captain Mutiny though, like, I like him, he's funny, and he had his little foot soldiers, like the pirate swabbies, like, like, I can't say that the swabbies are cool, but in terms of like the Lost Galaxy, how crazy and weird it is, they work for the Lost Galaxy. I mean, I prefer the Stingwingers, but for Lost Galaxy, swabbies work. So yeah, this was the new villain that the Rangers had to fight for a while. But when they first met him in episode 36, Captain Mutiny tried to pretend that he was a good guy and that he was trying to help them. And I love, like, the whole scene when he first appeared on Terraventure. Like, he showed up, and then you see all these GSA, like, army guys, like, circling around him. Like, I just love that. And Commander Stan told them to, like, you know, at ease. And then he starts talking with Captain Mutiny. I just love that whole scene. Like, I'm Commander Stanton. Like, this is the space colony Terraventure. You know, I'm just explaining everything. I just love it. You know, and Captain Mutiny was like, yep, let me guess, you got swept into some magical portal or whatever. Yep, it's the same story. Happens every 100 years or so. But I have this fancy machine that could take you out of here. You have to come on my home planet to get it. Commander Stanton sends like a team to Captain Mutiny's home planet to get this, you know, special machine. It was in this crater box that they didn't bother checking. And yeah, then they took that box back to Terraventure. Lo and behold, it was a trap. It was a monster inside of it. Oh, and when, you know, the GSA went to Captain Mutiny's home planet, the Rangers also went there and they checked around the home planet and they saw that Captain Mutiny had slaves. And then they realized that Captain Mutiny kidnaps all the people that come to Lost Galaxy and forces them to work in his slave camp. And that's exactly what he's trying to do to Terraventure. He's trying to enslave the whole colony. Some pretty deep shit for a kid show, you know. So yeah, next episode, you know, the Rangers save the day, destroy the monster on Terraventure, etc., etc. And Deviant turns out to still be alive, and now he's working with Captain Mutiny too. Overall, the Lost Galaxy arc is really good. Like, I like it a lot. I'm not really going to spend that much time talking about it though, but, you know, that's because this review is like 20 hours anyway. Yeah, but one episode I want to talk about is episode 40, Hexiba's Graveyard. I love it because this witch that works for Captain Mutiny named Hexiba, she uses her magic to revive like a bunch of old monsters that the Rangers had destroyed. Like, I just love this episode. It's just action, action, action all day long. And it's great. And me personally, I always love the episodes where the villains revive their old monsters. Mighty Morphin used to do this all the time, and I loved it every time they did it. They don't do it as much in the newer seasons, but, you know, that's kind of what makes it special when they have, like, these 1 or 2 episodes where they do it. I'm like, oh, yes, this is awesome. Like, I remember that monster. I remember that one. I remember that one. Like, oh, no, I just loved it. This episode's awesome, and Kai pretty much saves the day by destroying the energy source that's reviving all the old monsters. Heck, yeah. Good episode. So, the end of the Lost Galaxy arc was episode 42, Escape the Lost Galaxy. In it, you know, the Rangers end up sneaking on Captain Mutiny's planet and saving like all of the slaves there and having them come on the Astro Mega ship so they could, you know, get the hell out of there. And Kai also figures out how to get out of the Lost Galaxy. Like, he was examining the Galaxy book, and, you know, the counter spell got them into it, so he decides, like, to read the spell backwards, and that makes a brand new portal for them to escape. So, yeah, you know, the Rangers save all the slaves, and then they get the hell out of there. But, you know, when Terraventure was moving towards that portal, it was starting to close. So Mike, he used his Zord, the Torzord, to form his Megazord, and then he manually kept the portal open. Like, he just went into that energy and just like pulled on it, and then but it's energy, so it's too powerful for that, and it just blew him up. Season of Death. God. Okay, well, Mike didn't die, but the Torzord did, damn it. Mike survived, but the Magna Defender powers were destroyed. And I just love what he said. Like, one of the slave girls that Mike helped save, she's like, I'm just sorry that saving us cost you your powers. And he was like, I'm not sorry at all. This is exactly what the powers were meant for. Like, man, Mike may have not been that important of a character, but he was definitely heroic, man. He had heart. Like, that line was awesome. And then the ghost of the Magnum Defender showed up at his bedside really quick and just said, thank you, Mike, for keeping the legacy of the Magnum Defender alive. Like, it was a really good episode, very well written. Especially for all the drama in the slave camp and stuff. Just watch it if you have not for some reason. Oh yeah, and Captain Mutiny also made it through the portal in his floating castle base thing. Not that it matters, because the Scorpion Stinger then destroyed that base. Because Trakeena was not having any of this shit. There's only room for one evil monarch, and that's me. And now we're on the 3-part finale of Lost Galaxy, Journey's End. So, during the Lost Galaxy arc, there was this whole drama about Terraventure kinda, sorta dying. Dying in the sense that, they were running out of, like, energy. Like, the engines of the ship were just blowing up one by one, and soon, like, if they don't find a planet soon, then Terraventure is just gonna freeze and nothing will survive. They literally said that. So, yeah, it was some pretty good drama going on, too. So, in part 1 of the finale, Commander Stanton said, hey, we've actually found a planet. Like, it has similar, like, atmosphere to Earth, similar, like, plant life and water and shit, like, all the stuff that humans need to survive. So, yes, we have found the new world, and the whole ship was just excited. The whole space colony, everybody was just happy about this. Meanwhile, with our villains, Deviant somehow survived the explosion in Captain Mutiny's castle, and he made it on the Scorpion Stinger, and he's like, oh, thank you for saving me, my queen. Captain Mutiny was holding me prisoner in his slave camp. And Trakeena was like, shut the fuck up, you traitor. And then she ordered Villamax to kill him. I don't really know how she knew he was a traitor, but maybe it was the whole thing about him stealing the Galaxy book. Maybe he did all that and read the Counter spell without her permission, and maybe she knew about it. Maybe that's the thing. I don't know. But whatever. She ordered Villamax to kill him, and then he tried to run away from Villamax, and then he found the cocoon, and he was going to use it, but then Villamax stopped him and started fighting him and was about to kill him. But then, DVR made like a bum rush to Trakeena, and he grabbed Trakeena, and then he drug her into the cocoon, and then they both went in there. 2 went in. Only 1 survived. So Trakeena came out, and she had fully absorbed Deviant inside. Like, she absorbed all of his powers. But she not only absorbed his powers, she absorbed his personality. Like, it was still Trakeena, but she had his dark personality. And that's a problem. So yeah, the people of Terraventure are all happy about going to this new planet, and then Trakeena just has to ruin all this, like, welcome back, Terraventure. And she uses the Scorpion Stinger to attack the ship, and then she blows out the last of their engines. Trakeena or Scorpius could have attacked Terraventure like this like a long time ago. Like, they could have easily used the Scorpion Stinger to just aim for their engines a long time ago, but whatever. It was cool, damn it. Like, seriously, this scene is awesome. Like, Trakeena attacking the ship, and then the whole space colony just smashes on one of that planet's moons. Like, that whole sequence was awesome. And Commander said, like, hold on! Oh, man, that was incredible. So, yeah, pretty much the whole ship, except for the big city-dome part, everything else was destroyed on Terraventure. So, yeah, after that, they had to evacuate the ship. So, they were getting all the space shuttles ready to get everybody on there and leave. And then Trakeena strapped, like, her whole army of Stingwingers with explosives. And then she had like her whole army. There's like thousands upon thousands of Stingwingers. She had all of them fly to the Terraventure to destroy everything. And they were just hopping on buildings and just detonating themselves. Like, this is like a huge-ass terrorist attack, and it was amazing, man. Meanwhile, Villamax felt that this was a disgrace, like to strap your own soldiers with explosives, make them, you know, destroy each other. Like, there's no honor in that, man. I mean, like I said, Villamax is like Eclipser. Like, he's evil, but he has honor. So it's like, he wasn't feeling any of this, but Trakeena didn't give any fucks about it. So, yeah. Oh, and, the Zords that the Rangers got from Deviant, Stratoforce, and Centaurus, I love those Zords, by the way. I don't think I said it. They were trying to defend Terraventure, like, on the moon. They were fighting this huge-ass army of Stingwingers, but eventually, like a whole bunch of Stingwingers just covered, like, all of these Zords. Like, they were just everywhere on these Zords, and then they detonated themselves at the same time, and they destroyed both the Stratoforce and Centaurus. Season of Death. So yeah, meanwhile on Terraventure, Stingwingers, you know, detonating themselves everywhere. The Power Rangers doing their best to defend the city, and eventually, you know, all the Stingwingers were destroyed. And yeah, Villamax was on Terraventure while, you know, Stingwingers were blowing up everything, and he saves this little girl. And after he saves this girl, he realized that, look, we shouldn't be attacking, like, the colony. We should just focus on the Red Ranger. He's the one that killed Trakeena's father, so we should focus on just killing him. Like, this ship is full of, like, innocent children. Like, we shouldn't be doing this, man. Like, I'm evil, but I have limits, you know? But yeah, Trakeena wasn't having any of this. She was tired of Villamax's bitching, so she killed him off. And she killed him, like her own teacher, her sensei. She killed him. Season of Death. And she killed him in front of Villamax's friend Kegler, man. And I love her line after. It's like, do you want to join your friend? He's like, no, Trakeena. Trakeena was cold-hearted, man. Cold-blooded. So after that, like, all the people at Terraventure are on these shuttles, and they're trying to fly to safety, and then Trakeena and the Scorpion Stinger was about to, like, blast them right out of the sky, or space, I don't know. But then Trakeena was stopped by the Astro Megaship shooting at her. And that shit was awesome, man. Like, so the Rangers were doing their best, you know, to stop Trakeena, but Trakeena decided to ram the Astro Megaship, so she used, like, the pincers on the Scorpion Stinger to, like, crash into the Astro Megaship, and it was destroying it. And then Leo decided that they should self-destruct the Astro Megaship. And at first, Damon didn't want to do it, but, like, they have no other choice, so they started the self-destruction. I think they had 90 minutes to do it. So, yeah, they were trying to evacuate. They were like, Alpha, I think Alpha was in the engine room, and Leo constantly like, Alpha, meet us in the jet jammer bay. However, during the battle between the Scorpion Stinger and the Astro Megaship, Alpha was knocked into, like, a bunch of, I don't know, craters or stuff. And point is, Alpha had fallen, and he couldn't get up. So, yeah, the Rangers, they went to Jet Jammer Bay. They were getting everything cleared off to leave, but they realized that Alpha still hadn't came. And I remember Kid Me was just so scared for Alpha. I'm like, oh my God, don't leave Alpha. Don't let Alpha die in there. Like, oh my God. I remember my heart was just beating. It was just racing, man. But Leo went back to save Alpha, and then they all got on, like, the jet jammers. Alpha was riding with Leo. Then they got out, and then the Astro Megaship self-destructed. Goodbye, Deca. And then that knocked the Scorpion Stinger, like, really damaged it, and the Scorpion Stinger landed on the moon. And then there was this just gigantic explosion, and the Rangers were trying their best to dodge it. And then Alpha flew away from Leo. Almost had a heart attack again when I started, because I thought Alpha had died. But then we cut to another scene where, like, the Rangers had landed on that new planet, and all the people on the space colony had made it. So it was Kai, Damon, Corone, and Maya, like, they were on the planet, and then we saw Alpha had made it as well. Like, the only person that was missing was Leo. Leo, because of the big explosion, it had knocked him to land on the moon, along with the Scorpion Stinger. And yeah, that ended part 2. So in part 3, Trakeena was clinging to life in the Scorpion Stinger, and she finally decides to use the cocoon to shed her mortal beauty, become an insect, all that, with magnificent powers and that. So she goes in the cocoon, and she's turned into this green beast with all this slime on her, but she's incredibly powerful. Then she makes her way to the ruins of Terraventure, and she powers it up because she's planning to use Terraventure to smash onto that new planet and destroy all the space colony people. Whatever. Leo realized, you know, what was going on. He went to Terraventure, and he tries his best to fight Trakeena. He's getting his butt kicked. The other Rangers discover what's going on Terraventure 2, so they fly there with their jet jammers to help Leo fight. So all 5 Rangers versus Trakeena. It was all 5 of them face off against Trakeena, trying to use everything they had, but they were getting their asses whooped. Everything except the Lights of Orion. I don't think they used the Lights of Orion. But whatever, the point is, they finally defeated Trakeena due to Leo using his battleizer. Like, he used his battleizer, and his battleizer has this hook thing, and he lashed it on to Trakeena, and it drug her real close to him, and then he was going to use his lasers to finish her off, but at that close distance, he runs the risk of killing himself. So, and the other ones were like, Leo, don't do it, don't do it! And Trakeena's like, what's it gonna be? He says, this, fire! And there was a big old explosion, and yeah, the day was saved. He defeated Trakeena. But I knew that she wasn't dead. I just knew it. Because after, you know, the big explosion, you see this big old smoke in the sky, and then you see like a face in there. Kid me knew it. I was like, yes. So next year we're going to have a team up. Yes. So yeah, they saved the day. But Terraventure is still on a collision course with the space colony on that planet. So they're about to crash, and the Rangers can't do anything. And then their Galactic Beasts show up in Megazord form and pull Terraventure away so it can explode somewhere else. So, where have these Galactic Beasts been this whole time? Like, their brethren got blown up on that moon and they were nowhere to be. I'm just saying, but whatever. You know, the day is saved. Yay. But then, shock of all shock, we learned some new information. The planet they're on is Mirinoi. After the stone spell, you know, grass had grown again, water had shown up again, but the people are all still stone, you know, and Maya had discovered this. So after that, you know, the Rangers, they were like, you know, we did our duty. We fought evil and we saved the day. And then, starting with Maya, she put her Quasar Saber back into the stone, and then the other Rangers followed suit. And then after that, they demorphed, and then all this energy was flowing from the Quasar Sabers, and it undid Furiel's spell on the people of Mirinoi. Like, they all returned back to normal. Yay! And then, Kendrix shows up. Not as a ghost. No, alive. She shows up alive. With no explanation. She just walks in like, yep, I'm here. What's